The loan deals have stopped at Rangers. It was one man in with Fabio Silva, one man out with Sam Lammers. But Ridvan Yilmaz is going nowhere. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And Rangers have rejected Hellas Verona's loan attempt at signing Ridvan Yilmaz until the end of the season. Now, Yilmaz has been a name we've been hearing for a couple of weeks now. It was expected that he was going to be leaving Rangers, despite actually putting in some good performances. As of late, his name was being touted as a move out of Ibrox. Hellas Verona were the club that were apparently interested, especially with the rumours that they were selling Josh Doidge. Well, those rumours have now came true in regards to the selling of Josh Doidge. He's away, he's gone, he's leaving, and Hellas Verona need a left-back to replace him. And at this point, it was all looking like Yilmaz would be that left-back. Hellas Verona put in a bid to loan him to the end of the season with an obligation to buy Yilmaz if they avoid the drop, if they survive relegation. Well, that bid now is completely out the window. Rangers have slightly taken this ajar window, they've pushed it shut, and they've said, nah, Yilmaz, you ain't going anywhere. They've rejected it. Now, apparently, the obligation deal to buy was approximately 3.4 million, which would pretty much take away all the money that Hellas Verona got for Josh Doidge in the first place, and the reason they were selling him was because they needed money. So the whole thing just did not make sense to me. Hellas Verona's needed money. That's why they were selling Josh Doidge, and they were basically going to waste all the money that they received for Josh Doidge on signing Ridvan Yilmaz. Riddle me that. Makes no sense. We need money, so we're selling our best player, and then we're going to waste all the money that we got for selling our best player on replacing him. How does that get Hellas Verona's money? I do not know.
I do not know. Maybe they're banking on getting relegated, and therefore they're only paying for a 6-month loan. But I think the crucial thing about this is, yeah, you can pretend that this is great news, but all it means is if they rejected this bid. What's stopping you at Hellas Verona's coming in with like a 4 million bid and Rangers accepting it? Rangers should never be selling Yilmaz, but let's not pretend because one bid's rejected, that's it. They could very easily come in with 4, 3.7, 3.9, whatever. That's plenty, and then they could accept it.
Yeah, the offer, the bid could get improved. The Rangers could change their mind. They could accept it. That's fine. That could happen. But right now, it is not happening. And you've got to wonder, if there was any interest in Josh Doidge from a Rangers perspective, why didn't they just offer a swap deal with a little amount of money as well for Josh Doidge? I think that tells me that Josh Doidge to Rangers was never really,
as Fabrizio Romano said, never on.
I don't think it was ever on, because if Hellas Verona's are essentially willing to waste all the money they're receiving for Josh Doidge, then why wouldn't they have been up for pretty much a straight swap deal with maybe a small sum of money coming from Rangers to Hellas Verona's as well? That tells me that Rangers weren't looking at Josh Doidge. They weren't interested in Josh Doidge. And to be honest, as good as Josh Doidge is, I don't think it's Rangers' #1 priority. I look at the left-back position at Rangers, and I think they're actually doing okay. I think Barisic, I know he's got his haters, he's got his doubters, but Barisic, on his day, is a good player, very good at going forward. Maybe defensively he lacks a little bit, and you could say the same about Ridvan Yilmaz. Going forward as well, attacking looks very good, perhaps could be better at the back. But I think when you've got Yilmaz and Barisic, it's a pretty good left-back pairing. So I think Rangers are okay there. I think they've got other areas of the field that they definitely need to reinforce before spending millions and millions on a left-back. So for me, I don't think the deal to bring in Josh Doidge is ever going to happen, and it just doesn't really make sense for me for Rangers to sell Ridvan Yilmaz. They already spent quite a lot of money on him, and if they sold him, then they'd probably have to spend that money on replacing him, and for me, it's just not the priority. It's not what Rangers should be doing. So I don't think that Rangers were interested in Josh Doidge, and I don't think that they will be selling Ridvan Yilmaz unless they get a crazy amount of money that they cannot say no to.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you got to look at Rangers' left-back situation. Yeah, Barisic is a shite bag. Yeah, he's got 6 months left, and yeah, he's got his haters. I can see the hate for Barisic. You know what? He is a bit of a shite bag, but he is good going forward. And yeah, both internationals, these two. See, in terms of left backs for the standard of the Scottish Premiership, could you really ask for much better?
I
think you could ask for a much better left back, but in terms of like 2 left backs are pretty good for the level you're at. and are similar. Like, you look at the right back situation, you've got Tav and that's it. Yes, Dujon Sterling's a right back, but let's be real, he's a midfielder now. He can play anywhere, but he's a midfielder. Like, Rangers had it a few seasons ago with Patterson and Tav, but then the left was weak. Like, you look at, like Celtic, they've got Greg Taylor and Burnaby. Right back, they've got Johnston and Ralston. You look at in terms of depth, probably Rangers at the left back area is probably the best. I mean, you've got 2 internationals, and yeah, Barisic has got his haters, but at the end of the day, this is a guy that's been linked with like loads of £1 million moves, like Roma and Villa, like 11 million a couple of years ago. And Yilmaz is, I think, will go on to be a decent player. And I have said, well, if you want to get rid of Yilmaz, I wouldn't be totally against it because of his injury record. But you have to have a backup in place. And do Rangers have a backup in place? Because by the looks of what they've been doing this window, they've got no money.
Yeah, just the one transfer in so far, and of course it was Silva on loan
for the Sopranos. And they pull me back. Can they pull title 56 a bit closer?
Not quite, but Fabio Silva is the only transfer in so far, and that was a loan deal. Rangers haven't splashed the cash yet. Will they splash the cash? So they've still got, another 16 days, 17 days to do so. I mean, we're only approaching the halfway point, but it's been very quiet, not just from a Rangers perspective, but from a Scottish football perspective, from an SPFL perspective. We have not really seen any big signings so far at all, and I don't even think there's any official big signings that have been like legit transfers. We know that Celtic are on the verge of signing Nicholas Kuhn, but it's not actually happened yet, so it looks like it's going to happen, but it's not official. Rangers haven't signed anybody official yet. There's been a couple of minor signings, but still nothing major so far in the January transfer window. So we will sit here, we will wait. I don't think Yilmaz is going anywhere though. It would be strange. I think if Yilmaz was going to be sold, it would have probably been in the summer. I think he's probably showing the best we've seen of him so far in a Rangers shirt, and to be fair, he's not really had many opportunities due to injury, but it just doesn't make sense that he'd be getting sold right now. I think Yilmaz has got a future at Rangers, and I don't think he'll be leaving to go to Hellas Verona. And I honestly don't know why Hellas Verona would be interested in paying 3.4 million. The reason for selling Josh Doidge was they needed money. Why do that and then pretty much waste every single penny that you get for Josh Doidge on bringing in Yilmaz, who I think we could argue isn't as good as Josh Doidge? It just seems like Hellas Verona would be taking a backward step and losing out, because obviously you've got to factor in that they owe Hibs money, so the profit that they're not even getting a profit. Hellas Verona are basically getting nothing. They're barely getting a profit, and then if you factor in that they'd be having to sign Yilmaz to replace Josh Doidge, they'd actually be down a few million. So this makes no sense to me. I'm not sure it has any legs. But the bid was apparently official, and Rangers have rejected it, so...
See, I wonder how much legs it had, but here, this is actually an official rejection. Past couple of days, it's been smoke and mirrors, news reports, but Rangers have rejected this, so this has been legit. And that's the difference.
Unless Hellas Verona just assume that they're going down, and if they do stay up, then maybe they'd be happy to pay that money. Maybe that's why they're trying to cash in on players, because they realise they are going to Serie B. That could be a factor.
No idea where they are in the league. But anyway, guys, who cares? Josh Doidge is away to Marseille. Oui, oui, and a pas Till next time. Bonjour.